Hey y'all, it's your girl Sia, and I'm back with another video. Y'all, so I am super stoked. Today is Monday. Happy New Year's to you guys. It is the 1st of January. So kudos to those of you who celebrate today or yesterday. My new year is actually the first day of spring. That is the day that I kind of like to celebrate, and that I really like my brain accepts that it is a new year. And I think that's primarily because in winter it's cold, it's gloomy, it's dark. And then spring is always fresh, new, sunny, everything's growing again. Like I just feel like that is more of what my spirit just kind of aligns with. So that's just been my thing for many years. But happy New Year's to those of you who celebrated it last night or this morning or today. Um I am super stoked because I stuck with my timeline. I had a timeline in mind for what I wanted to accomplish, and that was getting my new store up and running. For those of you guys who don't know, I did have a fashion store, and I have been thinking about bringing it back. But if I do fashion, I feel like I don't want to get into the game with low capital. I feel like if the vision that I have for this particular brand that I have worked on and built is huge. And so for me, I go back and forth about relaunching it, re-getting it out there, but ultimately the I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I'm thinking about a lot of things in that area, but I will be getting that up and running. I don't know when. I do not have a timeline or a time frame for that. But it's always in the back of my mind. Um, I made a goal with my daughter about 6 months ago, maybe three. I don't know. But I always had this plan that I wanted to do something that was going to generate money, right? And if she was making bracelets, and in my mind I was like, okay, I was going to build a store where she would be able to sell the bracelets and obviously make a little money off the store, right? This was my grand thought. When we're doing bracelets, I understand, y'all, my daughter is young. Um, I hear people. However, what I think and I've kind of learned is that it's my thing, not really my daughter's. Like, she says, okay, I want to do YouTube videos and I want to do TikTok videos. But when I'm striving to bring structure to the process so that she can really build the way that and grow in the way that I know that she says she wants to grow, the kid is really not into like structure in that regards, right? If I'm saying to do something, it feels like a chore. Now, I will say her bracelets, she made a ton of them, which we can sell. And so I look forward to introducing those into the store. But I realize that there is a niche, and I don't know. I learned this. I realize that people are freaking amazing. Let's just put it that way. And I have decided that because I'm seeing the business model take place over and over and over again, and keep in mind, there's not a lot of companies that do this, but the companies that do are pretty big, right? And so I'm thinking, instead of me paying these stores a crap ton of money to buy something I know I can buy 10 times cheaper, I'm gonna just create a store of it. So, and therefore, anytime I need these items, I can just buy from my own store, right? But also make money in the process because I do know how to do this. It just requires work, right? And so I think a little bit of my daughter was getting impatient. Okay. That's my thought. Because I told her a while ago, I said, listen, my goal is to launch the store by the first. So when you're doing business and or when you're starting a business, when you're creating something, and when I was younger, I used to just jump in, right? And it's because I jumped in then that I know now that yes, the ideal works if I just kept going, right? But it does require, if you don't know how many times I had to redo my logo, redo my, like, because I did all that. Like back in the day, I mean, I feel like, I don't know when Fiverr came out, but I feel like we were doing logos at the beginning of Fiverr, right? That was something that I was doing for my own website, right? And I had plenty of websites in my time, but nothing that, like, I tell you guys, I had a cleaning business that I did for a while. I think that I would have been more lucrative if I did the cleaning business where I'm at, from a space where I'm at now. But ultimately I realized cleaning is not for me. I can do it, I can get paid, but I think my body just doesn't move in certain ways to be doing all that. Okay. And then, but it's good money if you can minimize your overhead, right? It is good money. Cleaning, what else? I had several fashions. Well, not several. I think I started a fashion store. I tried to, had no idea what I was doing, then went back to it and rebuilt the brand and changed the name and everything. And so I had multiple different logos, not multiple, but yeah, multiple different logos for each, I guess, business I attempted or tried to build. And then ultimately, once you get used to some of these, what are they called? The softwares, it's easy to generate all that. It's not that difficult to create a lot of that. Your templates, it took me a little while for the templates because I was just trying to get the information out there. I will say I'm more focused on detail a little bit more now than I was before. Again, I was about making content, as many doors as I could open on the internet, the better, instead of really focusing on what I'm putting out there and the colors and the quality and stuff like that. So now that I'm a little bit more wiser in the game, right? And I know that after seeing it play out time and time again, I know that I have something that, as long as I market it correctly, would sell, right? And I also like what I'm selling, if that makes sense. Um, because it relates to my experience so much. Okay. So today was the launch. I launched it today. It's a soft launch, but already, like, I'm on 3 different platforms. I'm debating Facebook just because I really want it to take off first, and then I'll probably throw it on Facebook, right? Just because I've been there, done that, right? So I don't want to keep doing the same things over and over again and getting the same kind of results. Although Facebook is great, Facebook is where I thrive at. Facebook is where I know I'd get the most numbers at almost immediately. But again, Facebook, in my opinion, has a lot of haters, always has and does for a lot of people. And so I would much rather hold off on Facebook and until I build myself up on the other platforms. Got myself on TikTok. Now that's the site that I'm kind of just going with the wind with, because I have no idea what I'm doing on TikTok. I'm just doing what I see works, right? And so already I posted about 6 videos, a grip of videos. I should have kept posting, but I posted 6 videos and I did a little like cap cut thing on them, and 500 views immediately, 600 views immediately. So I can only imagine what it's going to be like when I get better and bigger, right? Obviously this was a store that I really wanted to do with my daughter, and I don't mind sharing some of the proceeds, but I'm almost at I feel, and this, who knows, I'll know more. But I feel that this isn't really her thing. Like the level of discipline that it requires to do this. Because I'm gonna tell y'all now, I ain't felt like getting it together until now. Well, till recently. So, but I've been slowly building the inventory, so our product list and all that. That's been the pain process. Okay, it's probably the most tedious process of it all, in my personal opinion. Aside from whatever you do, like your templates and stuff that you have to do for social media. Um, but already that many views on several videos, right? I don't have any followers on TikTok yet outside of myself. Instagram, I think I've got about 6 followers, a few likes, no spam, so that's good. But I did see a merchant service person, so I'm keeping my eye out. They don't speak English, so that might be a good thing. And then Pinterest, I've got about 400 views so far, and people who click on my pin. So I know I got to keep going. I've definitely got a lot more work to do. But to know that, like, I know I have a feeling that what I'm doing, I just pray that I do it right. And because I was doing this prior to COVID, you guys, and I did end up making a little bit of money doing what I did, and then COVID happened, right? So restarting this with a different product in mind. And again, fingers crossed that it takes off. But I'm a little nervous because I got to do sales tax. With stores, you got to do sales tax. And with internet, you got to do sales tax. And so I'm a bit nervous, you guys. I'm a bit nervous because I'm not a sales tax girl. And so what I am grateful for is that I have a team behind me who does sales tax. And so it looks like, depending on what scale the company takes off to, I will be hiring the company I work for to do these taxes and the bookkeeping. I'm not doing it, right? Because it becomes too much at that point. So yeah, that's not an option for me for this particular business. As it grows, and I see it growing pretty fast. Keep in mind, nobody knows the store's open. It's a very soft launch, because I still got a lot of tweaks that I want to kink out, and iron out before February hits. So I would love my daughter to get on board, but essentially I'm looking at it as it's a business, right? I'm selling products that I like, that I know that will sell. I'm not really thinking about it. If my kid comes on board, then cool. The goal would be then to build her career, her little whatever it is. If she wants to be a influencer or whatever, right? She wants to go into coding, whatever she wants to do, then that can a portion of that can fund her goals and her dreams, right? But I really want to see, because again, I will be able to control it. What I would like to see her do is get more involved and run it more on her own. Like I said, my deal was to build the store and I'd step back to some degree with control, like controlling the dynamics, like obviously I'm the adult in the situation, so I have to communicate with people. I don't need to go into all that with y'all. She's got photo shoots lined up. She's got the toys, right? um but I'm not gonna force her into something that she really doesn't, maybe not really want to do, right? It's one thing to make a bracelet, it's a whole other thing to run a business. And if that becomes the case, then a portion of the business will go towards, especially as it grows, it will go towards funding her future, and then obviously I want to look into some donations as well, right? Donating. But that's been my New Year's, you guys. So happy New Year's to you guys. That's what I've been on all New Year's, is figuring out, okay, what my colors are, brand colors. I really like it. I did a great job with everything. But I know, as like I said before, I wasn't this good. So it's kind of cool to see it play out the way that I, am expecting it to. And this is just the first day, right? It's the very first day. Nobody knows its launch. As you guys know, I have not said my name. I just want to see where it goes before I make that like huge announcement, right? I'm testing the waters, so to speak. Um, Let's see. And it's a very niche thing, okay? So I want y'all to understand, I don't expect 100,000 views on the first day. I really didn't expect 500, to be honest with you. But that's cool. I'll take it. And it's 500, 600, on it's like 3 or 4 freaking videos. So that's cool to see. But we'll see where everything goes. And the cool thing about everything is I can keep, so for every single thing that I'm building, I can use the exact same name across every single platform without adding, subtracting, anything. That is awesome. I ain't never been in that space since the very beginning of social media's existence. Y'all, everything is taken now. But anywho, let's see. So I wanted to talk briefly about the Trump situation, okay? As you guys know, I expected the situation with Trump to be the way that it is currently, which is that more states were going to jump on board and be in support of this taking him off the ballot. I believe some states actually, they're either gearing up, they have moved towards, and or they have removed him from the ballot completely. Some have been shut down, obviously, some have not actually followed through. And I believe there's one state, maybe two, that have really stuck their guns to removing him off the ballot. And it was obvious. Let me tell you guys something. And one thing I learned about Democrats and the left is that they move in numbers. They understand the power of numbers, right? And what's interesting is I was on TikTok, you guys. I'm trying to get more into TikTok. And so I was watching TikTok and I'm going through some of these, Trump videos or whatever. And there was this old man, right? Because I got to remember, it's TikTok. So what I'm saying could or could not be real, right? And so this older man goes into all this conversation about how, his state was right to do what they did, or the state that he was speaking on could have been Colorado for all I know. It was right to do what it did because Trump did X, Y, and Z. And this is an older man. He's got gray, silver hair, older man, right? And so I'm thinking to myself, it just was very baffling to me that a man of that age could fix his mouth to say what he said. And I was thinking, well, wouldn't that be defamation? Like, obviously, he's small enough to where nobody's going to really catch him. But in the event, like, isn't what people are saying about Trump defamation? Isn't that defamation? Because he hasn't been accused of anything. I mean, excuse me. I lied. Sorry, y'all. Wrong word. He has not been found guilty of anything. So it's like, it's very strange to me. And I say this because it's almost like the left understands that if you hear it enough and there's enough people who support it, then it must be true. This is how they're kind of moving, right? And it's almost like people subscribe to that notion more than anything. And they know that that's how they move. Now, I have no doubt that Trump will win, or at least more people will vote for Trump. Let's put it that way. Considering all the black people that have been moving over and saying, hey, this is who. I didn't realize it was this many people. It's a lot of people. There's a lot of people moving from the left and going to the right just because of the dynamics that we're in right now. But then you have your people who still hate Trump for whatever reason, you know? And I'm not anybody to say that their plights are right or wrong. That's their decision to make. But there's still people out there who believe that he's racist and all of these other things. So I say all that to say this, and I'm going to say this really quickly, and then I'm going to get off. Is I believe that the reason why, and this is why, because I asked myself, I said, why did I think that the numerous like states were going to be coming behind Colorado on this? And what the power of number does is it gives a level of authority to the topic at hand, meaning that to not me, right? And perhaps not you, but the person that is so against Trump, right? They're seeing this and they're seeing, oh, well, this state is supporting it. It's the Supreme Court, right? It's a big deal. It's supreme. These words matter when you're really looking at the grand scheme of it all, right? These words really matter. You've got state after state coming out saying, hey, look, we're moving to remove Trump from the ballot. And for a person of a certain thought process, that gives more validity to the reasoning for Trump to be off the ballot. That's the only reason why I could really think of this old man just really, I mean, he was going in, but he was saying it like it was true. He didn't say potentially, allegedly. He said Trump did X, Y, and Z. But he was going in, justifying the removal from the ballot. Older man. And that stuff is shocking to see, kind of, because you're expecting the older people to know better. So it's a very interesting time we're in. You know, like I said, I didn't expect, you know, I guess everything we see, I expected. And I said was, you know, we should expect to see. What's going to be curious, what's going to be interesting is how long the Supreme Court takes to do their little whatever ruling they got to do. It's an appeal. So they're ruling, right? And how that's going to work. It's like I said, it would suck. Let me tell you guys something. Having the Trump's future in the hands of the Supreme Court to some degree is like, I don't know. I pray the Supreme Court of the United States of America does not let the people down of this country. Because that is going to be a day, let me tell you, if it happens and they let people down and they do it in a way that does not serve the American public, because this is a level of, it's got a high level of emotional attachment to it. You got to understand that. And they know this. So I'm hoping the Supreme Court does what they're missioned and tasked to do. And I believe that they will. However, I know that we live in, what is it, post 2020? So we can only expect some crazy nonsense. Like, that's the thing. It's, you can only expect. It's like, I have faith, but I know things are about to get crazy. They already crazy. They ain't crazy enough for me yet, though. I feel like they're gonna get crazier. That's just my opinion about things right now. And so I really hope the Supreme Court does and what they're required to do. But then again, Trump's case hasn't been ruled on either. So that's going to be a whole nother conversation. That's why I'm saying I really hope, even if it was left up to the Supreme Court, Trump is protected. He's going to have to be, because it's going to do something crazy to this country if for some results. That's just my spirit. That's all I'm saying. I feel like something crazy is going to go down if something happens, especially at the last minute, that does not coincide with the people's wishes. So that's all I gotta say, y'all. I want to wish you guys a happy New Year's. I hope you guys are bringing it in strong. Like I said, my New Year's resolution, I don't want no more shots. I will not be at no liquor store for any reason. And then obviously I am striving to go to a new level. And so I do want someone to be able to walk beside me, help me to unlock those blockages that I have within, so that I can just be a better person overall, right? So that's where I'm at, you guys. I hope you guys are having a wonderful new year. Let me know what y'all think about the Trump situation down in the comments below, and or share your New Year's experience. I'm here for it. With that being said, I'm out. Peace.